Welcome back, everyone, to the Impact 1 Million podcast, from success to significance. And I'm your host, Shar Moore. I am thrilled to announce a beautiful friend of mine, Kate McKay. Kate McKay, CEO of Siena Strategy Partners, is a certified high-performance success coach, speaker, podcaster, and athlete. Kate is an international best-selling author of the book Claim Your Inner Badass. Kate is a multi-million-dollar business builder, deeply committed to inspire others to achieve a life of greater confidence, vitality, and a deeper sense of meaning. Kate has been interviewed on Bloomberg, Fox Business News, NASDAQ, and PBS. She has written for Entrepreneur, Family Circle, and USA Today. Kate has just released her newest book, Claim Your Inner Hottie, which describes her fitness and health process to be fit and fabulous, no matter our age. In addition, Kate is also the author of the book, Claim Your Inner Warrior, a personal development book especially geared towards men, written in honor of her son, Will, who passed away in 2017. Kate, welcome to our show.
Thank you. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here.
Oh, how exciting. How exciting. I want to dive in, girlfriend, because you are just one of those people that I admire so much, with your tenacity, your will, the way that you move people and get them to feel differently, because you have stepped up from such a vulnerable place and the journeys you've been through. So let's just dive straight in. For people that haven't met you yet, tell us all about Kate McKay.
So, hello, everyone. And I'm just deeply grateful to be sharing this space with you. And really, my commitment is to have powerful, deep conversations with people. I'm not afraid to go deep, but always with the intent of bringing joy, because I believe laughter and joy are the way we infiltrate dark spaces. So I have, as you mentioned, gone through some pretty incredible loss with the loss of a child. And that experience caused a huge reevaluation of how I view my meaning in my life. So when we're talking about our power to impact people, truly, I believe that this is a time for us to step up. I don't think it's just convenient. I don't think that we don't have time for thinking we can delve in and just focus on our self-work. I believe that this is time for us to commit to greater social work. I don't think it's a convenience. I think it's a responsibility on all of our parts to step in and own our greatness, and not just seeking necessarily a deeper sense of meaning, but really fully living into the meaningful impact and pursuit that we came here to live into. And it's those pieces that, Shar, that you feel disturbed by within, because oftentimes, as Lisa Nichols, one of my mentor coaches, states, your calling will not be convenient. Your desire and dream will be extraordinarily inconvenient. Yes, inconvenient. So be prepared to be uncomfortable as you lean into those places, in those places that you're here to serve. And I say, let's do it together. Let's do this work together.
I love that. I love that. And it is so inconvenient, and it's not easy. If it was meant to be easy, my gosh, everyone would be out there buzzing along, living their purpose, going, yay, made an impact, leaving a legacy. Bye, y'all. It doesn't work like that. My goodness. And, you have to push boundaries, and it's leaders, I feel, especially in the last few years and what we've experienced, I feel like now is such a monumental time in history where leaders are either rising or people are going, oh, I'm too scared, I'm going to sit in the corner and suck my thumb. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, because I know the last few years has been tough on people, but we have a choice, people. You can get up out of that corner. You can extend your arm. You can put your hand up and say, hey, I need some help right now. Can someone please lift me out of this corner? And I want to address the BS myth around leaders that can't ask for help. What are your thoughts around that, Kate? My goodness, every one of us needs to say, I need some help. Can you refer me to some people? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's not a sign of weakness.
not at all. And, I am extremely encouraged by, for example, the event that I went to this weekend. I went to the Growth Day conference, incredible conference. And Brendon Burchard is another one of my mentor coaches. But one of the speakers there was talking about his journey into darkness and suicide. And so men in particular are now getting way more comfortable talking about their mental health issues and challenges. And it's taken one person, two people, three people, five people to talk about it. In particular, obviously, I have a special calling in my heart because I believe that we as women, here we're talking as women, need men to be warriors. And warriors doesn't mean just going out there and slaughtering people. A warrior, as one of my guests described it on my podcast, a warrior is a person that has a heart behind the shield. That what they're doing is they're fighting for the highest calling in life is love. You are in defense and protecting love. And sometimes we need to be warriors, and it's going to require us to do the uncomfortable and to be exposed as even in our emotional experience. Yes, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. There is, as I love to describe it, assertive vulnerability. So vulnerability, you hear that word, I'm a little bit weirded out by it because I'm like, what does that mean? But if assertive vulnerability is saying what you need, expressing what your needs are, getting your needs met, and being able to speak it, and also having healthy boundaries around what it is you want. And that takes great courage. And I believe that that's where we're moving into now, is understanding that, again, we can't do it alone. Even Lone Ranger had Tonto, as I often state. Yes. So, and I think that when we're talking about, I love your project that you're working on. What a beautiful, the word impact. Oftentimes, as I would describe, a lot of people, I will ask this, and even as a high performance coach, people have resistance around this. One of the high performance habits in my program, and this is science-backed, research-based information, one of the key attributes of someone who's a high performer is they have a high level of influence. Okay, write that word down, peeps. What does influence mean to you? And a lot of people will be extraordinarily humble, Shar, and say, no, I don't really want to have that much impact. And I call them out and say, that is hogwash. We all want to have impact because that's the only way we're going to live fully into our meaningful pursuit. So I would like to ask this question. From 1 to 100, what percentage of your unique gifts that you were birthed into, what divine gifts were you given, are you truly living right now?
Yes.
1 out of 100. Write that number down and be dead on honest with yourself. And that number should freak you out, maybe. Some people have real high and they're like, I'm at 80 or 90. I say right on. But I'm going to tell you, Shar, a high performer, someone who's killing it in life, that you would think there's no way they're going to have a low number. The average high performer is at 40 to 60% of living into their potential. And you know what I say as a coach? Yummy. Because that means from 40 to 60% to 100, the goodness is in the gap. That's where I get to play with people. And that's what I want you to hear, listeners and viewers. Your goodness, your greatness, your greatest growth is in that fantastic, beautiful, scary, knees knocking, teeth chattering gap of who you are and who you came to be.
Oh gosh, I love you. I love you. Couldn't have said it better myself. And that's so perfect. And we've been and we've all been in that space, right? We've all been there. And I feel like the last probably 4 years, I've started to step into that greatness, that teeth chattering sort of stage, right? With a publishing business, we started out, I'm like, I had no clue what I was doing when I started 10 years ago and started this magazine. I'm like, I don't even know anything about this industry. And it just kind of went from there. And I was in that stage where I knew it was good, but it wasn't great. And how do I take it that next level? And we were doing the typical anthology compilation books, which are fantastic, but they're still for that very mainstream, busy market. And I'm like, how do I step into that next? Well, I can't do anything and ask anything of others unless I do it myself. I'm like, that's it. I'm putting our magazine, our books, my TV show on hold, and I'm going to put together this exceptional coffee table, visually compelling global book, 100 people, 400 pages. We're going to launch it big in New York, and we're just going to put it all over the world. And I'm going to invite exceptional people, but only 100 of them, because here's the thing. The 100 I'm looking for, and many of them have already joined, they know hand on heart that it's a disservice not to stand in their light, stand in their power, and say what they absolutely need to say, regardless of who's going to judge them or criticize them or say, who do you think they are? They know that it's a disservice, because there is someone out there who needs to hear what they have to say, and them only. They won't resonate with you in the book. They won't resonate with me. They'll resonate with no one else but that one person. And we all need to literally move out of our way. Stop putting yourself in your own way of your greatness, and because that's where the impact is that you're going to have on the lives you're here to impact. Only you, not me. And that's when you start to leave a life of legacy. So talk to me about the legacy piece, Kate. What does it mean for you?
Well, I don't know. I just think that legacy thing sounds so amorphous to me, because I'm such a feeling person. So legacy is like, oh, somewhere was a rainbow. So what I like to think about it is, when we're talking about that gap that I just mentioned earlier. So oftentimes those places in your life that you were told you were too big, too small. For you, I will always remember, Shar, your story that you shared with me on the podcast that we shared together, about how you were never given an option to see your life in a different way. And then you were given that option, and how that option changed you. And I believe you were just 16 years old. So it is that moment when you've been playing so small, and you had to, in order to be safe, right? Oftentimes that's what happened. We play small because we have to be safe, or we're too afraid to be authentically who you are. I heard all the time, I'm too enthusiastic, I'm too big, I talk too much. And so what happens? We shrink. So what were you told, viewers and listeners, when you were younger, that you had to hide and to shrink? Man, woman, age, it doesn't matter. Too fat, too dark, too light. It doesn't matter what it was, because that piece of you had to run and hide. And I am here to tell you that that piece is the piece that's going to fill that gap and lead you into your greatness. So I want you to remember, feel where you feel it on those pieces, that person that shamed you or told you you were this or that, and then step into that truth. That person could be dead and you are still living it. I have goosebumps just even thinking about it, because I can't tell you the number of times I have conversations like this. And this isn't therapy. This is somatically remembering where your power is and owning it, man, woman, and child, and then stepping in. And as David Goggins says, he's insane, but I love him. We are all talking about our purpose, finding our purpose. This is the truth, people. You are your purpose.
Yeah.
You are your purpose. And that means you got to own it, step into it, and find the people around you that are going to raise your game. Because you are not the 5 people that are around you. That's actually not true. You are the 5 people that you expect to have around you. Those are the people that you're going to achieve your greatness with. I say rise together. Let's go.
Yeah, love that so much. Oh my goodness, friends, I hope you've taken lots of notes and you actually re-listen to what Kate just said, because there's so much goodness in there. And sometimes when it's the first time we're hearing something, or even if it's a second time, we need to rehear it and just rewind until you actually go, I get it. Because, not just being a disservice, it's so important that when we're stepping into that missing piece, think about a computer. There's one chip at the end of the day that will make that baby work or not. And that missing piece that Kate's talked about, that gap, that's your missing chip. And if someone took it out and hid it in a cupboard and said, no, that's far too much goodness and light for the world, and I want to keep that person small because I don't feel I could do that. Remember, people can only look through the lens that they've been given. And so no one else can see your vision of a future. No one else can see this but me. I know when I stand there in late May 2024 in Times Square, I'm going to look around at 99 people that some of them I haven't even met yet, from all corners of the world, man, woman, child, that are going to be standing there with me for this book launch, for that impact book. I've seen it. I've seen it on the billboards. I've seen the press conference. I've seen the book signing. I've seen it. But sometimes when I share that vision, because the other person on a call doesn't have my glasses on, they're like, that won't work. Far too much of an investment to be in something that people won't buy a book like that. They don't see it. It's not that they're wrong. They just don't see it. But it doesn't mean that I get off that call and go, okay, I need to stop doing that book. No, no, no. I just buy another pair of glasses and send it to them with my vision and post it to them with a lovely, chocolate kiss and say, take a look at what I see. And then when they see it turn out as a reality, maybe, just maybe, they'll go, wow, she had a vision, she put everything into it and she made it work. So I know you've done this.
So Shar, what is your why? So that's the question I have for you, and I'm reversing this podcast interview because this is important, because this actually ties stuff in for us. So why is it that you are going to be standing there with those 99 people? Why? Why does that matter? Why does your heart have such a conviction that this is the place you need to be and these are the people that you need to follow? What is it for you?
Oh my gosh, you're making me cry on my own podcast. Because, Kate, I want everyone to know that we are all equal. We have a female electrician in this book. We have a woman turning over $7 million plus in this book. We have everyone and everything in between, and I am not done. I'm only in my early 20s, and I will get 80 to 100, and I want the most diverse. Why? Because I want anyone in the world to be able to pick that impact book up and read it and go, well, if she can, I can. Because I was told I was not enough, and it always stems from what we are, right, and how we've got to this point. And so many people have told me I'm just an Indian girl, I'm uneducated, I should have just got married at 16. And I'm here to show them, if I can put a book together like this at such a global scale and bring in 100 diverse voices, surely there is someone in this book that you will relate to. And what if you pick this book up and something that Kate McKay says in that book shifts your life forever, and you go out and find your missing piece, your chip, right? You engage Kate's services and you find your chip, my friends, then my work here is done. And then I'll know I've created a legacy.
Go fill that gap, girl.
Damn.
Go fill that gap. So do you hear that though? Like the viewers and listeners, and Shar, thank you so much, man, because I know your story, and the powerful piece about it is that you truly had no voice. So people, I don't think you understand. A lot of people will not understand, Shar, that you were just an Indian girl that had no right to a voice. So for you, this is freaking personal. This isn't just a small thing. So listeners and viewers, what is it for you that's firing you up? And if you don't know, and I irritate you and I'm kind of pissing you off, I'm okay with that. Because you know what? I love you anyway. I still stand in for you, and I believe in you because I believe you have greatness in you, and you were meant to hear this interview because it's time for you to wake up, beautiful. And we are here holding you in the light, and you are safe, and you are ready to step in one step at a time into your magnificence of who you are and who you came here to be.
And it's time. It's so time. We cannot wait for tomorrow. It's promised to no one. And each of us have experienced that, sometimes they're there and sometimes they're gone. And there's so much goodness that's gone with them. We cannot wait. Even if you live to 120, we're still here for a hot minute. My gosh. Don't sit and wait for the perfect time. And I love to touch on, before we wrap up, Kate, every one of us gets no in some form of rejection. And sometimes it can be hard because you can see what's possible for the other person, but they just can't look through your lens in that moment. And so that rejection, after a while, we're often told that it's a protection, right? That if we're getting that no from that person, it's a protection. But sometimes I speak to people and they're so disheartened because they're just getting a knockback after knockback and it's been tough. And what advice do you give them as an exceptional coach that you are, how do you pull yourself through that? How do you find that gusto to keep going?
The biggest no is the one you give yourself. You can project the no's onto other people. Own that you're telling yourself no because you're afraid. So there are three ways that we fear. We can be motivated by fear, or we can be motivated by a positive state. The three fears, I want to touch on this, very important. Write them down. We remember what we write down. The three fears are fear of outcome. We're going to do all that work and it's not going to be worth it. We're afraid of process. Oh, that process is going to be too hard. I don't want to lose the weight. I don't want to go out and dating. I don't want to start a business. Too hard. The third one is we're afraid. We're afraid of loss. We're afraid of losing love. We're afraid of judgment. That's the big kahuna right there. And I would say 90% of people function from the motivation of fear. And I ask you, I implore you, be motivated by these four motivations. Write them down. We can be motivated by happiness. We can be motivated by growth. We can be motivated by freedom. Freedom from external pressure, but even more so freedom from within. And lastly, we can be motivated by transcendence. Transcendence. How about those? And this is the key operative right here. This is what I want to drop the mic on. The mothership of motivation is one word. It's choice. You have the power to choose every moment, every thought, every experience. It is the power to choose. You have the power. You do.
Kate McKay, what an absolute pleasure to chat with you again. I adore you and everything that you stand for. How can people reach you if they want to connect? Because I know there's going to be our friends watching that will want to work with you.
Right on. So obviously you can find my books on Amazon. Claim Your Inner Badass, my bestseller. Claim Your Inner Hottie. Claim Your Inner Warrior. And my newest, Claim Your Inner Peace. And the reason why I use the word claim is that came to me in a dream from my son, Will. And I saw him in the dream and I was being the mom and saying, how could you do this? And, being the mom mad. And he turned around to me and he looked at me inches from my face. And he said, Mom, how could you be mad at me? I've been claimed. So he's telling me, I'm all set, Mom. I'm with Holy Spirit. I'm with the divine. Carry on, Mom. So this is what I want to leave this with all of you. Claim your best self. Claim your hottie, your badass, your warrior, and your peace. Your time is now. You can find me at I am Kate McKay. I'm also a fitness and high performance coach. I have a variety of different platforms speaking, and I have a joyful life filled with service. So find me. Let's play together. I'm here for you. I see you. And most importantly, I believe in you. I believe in you. You are not alone.
Love it. Kate, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.